Alright, guys, let's go. We've got Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO in the top right. Best Protoss in the world. He's a bit of a dirty boy, and his opponent, Dark, trying to hide a drone here. He wants to go back and take his natural. Oh, herO's going to let him do it. herO, you let him slip by you. That's a good opening for Dark. Now, Dark should have built an extra 2 drones in the meantime there. He's still not building drones, which is... Oh, he's going for a hatchery block. Okay, he still should have built at least that one drone slightly earlier, but, you know, not too bad, not too bad. And he's going to come in for the hatch block. herO, uh-oh, guys. This is, of course, the Korean Grand Finals from this last week. It's on the New Balance patch, which means Dark gets overpowered Ultras and Hydras. For those who don't know, Dark was really enjoying spamming Ultras in Zerg versus Terran, as well as making Roach Hydra in some of the cups on the New Balance patch. He was really enjoying going a lot of Roach Ravager, actually, sorry. And Ravagers was significantly nerfed. So I don't know if Dark actually read the patch notes or not. But he is going to go for a hatchery block here. So is this essentially a 3 hatchery before pool? Best thing you can do against this is get a second gas and just go Stargate. And then just do double Adept plus Oracle pressure. And you actually always end up ahead at low level play where I play. Low GM, mid GM. But at this level, apparently herO says build a Zealot, make 4 probes, and then go for the 2-gate Adept pressure. And he's just going to use a single chrono, because this Adept starts first. He's going to chrono the other Adept. Now that drone could double back and block him. He's got to be careful. Yeah, you see, so he chronos the Adepts. That way they'll line up. So he'll still have a 2 Adept pressure, but he is going for the Nexus instead of the second gas. And that is interesting. Dark sees that there's no attempt to take the inside base. Nexus does go down 228, and Dark immediately drops a 3rd hatchery before building queens. Guys, these 2 Adepts could have an absolute party. Dark needs to build about 10 Zerglings, maybe 12 if he wants to stop these Adepts without taking too much damage. We'll see how it goes. He's doing an extractor trick to get another 2 Lings out, so it's only 6 Lings. A very quick Ling speed considering how the early game went. To go 3 hatch, plus a hatch block, plus... having to build Lings to defend this. I mean, you can see he doesn't have any drones on his natural for a reason. It's because he can't defend 2 bases. Even these Lings are trying to hide from the Adepts right now. herO is going to force a lot of Zerglings out here. Now, the trick is, you know, a player like Dark should just have to build a lot of Zerglings here. So you just want to hang around, keep threatening, but you don't want to actually throw the Adepts away. Behind it, Twilight Council's on the way. I love that Dark's kept this drone alive. He's going to get a free scout on the Twilight Council, which is brilliant. Adept's going in, and he sees mass Zergling. So at this point, herO knows he's done enough damage. As I said, you just want to shade out of there. You don't know if Ling Speed's on the way or not, but just keep these Adepts alive. Now, he might be greedy and want to stay a bit longer, but that would not be a great move if he does that, because Ling Speed, if he loses these Adepts, the Lings have complete map control. On the other hand, herO is up 4 workers right now. Dark, a bit of a mad lad, known for his gambly plays. And the Adepts look like they are going to shade on out of there. There's a probe here, which tells us that herO accidentally had that on a hotkey, maybe? I don't know what that probe was doing. Looks like this drone's still around. Sees that Glaives and 4 gateways are on the way. So herO's going to go 4-gate Glaives. He needs to start mining out the inside base so he can take a 3rd behind it. It feels to me like this is classic herO, where he's navigated his way through the early game very well. I mean, they're both very loose, kind of fluid players who just roll with the punches, but I really feel like herO is just going to commit so hard to these Adepts, and if he doesn't find the mark with big damage, he's screwed. He's going to go for a proxy pile on the other side of the map. That Adept will go down as well. I don't know if moving out here to fight is the right play. But he gets back to the choke point just in time. herO, a brave boy, as per usual. And with the DT Shrine on the way. So it's going to be Roach Horn required for Dark, for sure. He's back up ahead in workers now. 36 workers, soon to be 40. So he's just slightly up on the workers, but no Roach Horn. And he's going for an Evo Chamber, which... Man, going just Lings and Queens to defend against what you know is Glaive Adepts, I think Dark has said, hey, I scouted your Glaive Adepts, therefore you're not going to commit as hard. Now, the reason that's a silly call is because you know that he went 4 gateways. You saw all 4 gateways as Dark. So to assume that he's not going to commit is crazy, and therefore the Baneling Nest does go down. A tiny bit of respect shown, but still not as much as I'd like to see. There's going to be 4 more Adepts coming. These Adepts should join up right now. herO's going to actually... Oh, he's going to multi-prong potentially? We'll see. These Adepts down there. He's got the Adepts there. He doesn't want to show his hand just yet. He's going to pick off that creep tumor. All right, the Massling Bane should be in big enough numbers to defend. Oh, terrible shade. Oh, that's what we call a parting shade, guys. 2 of those Adepts die. The other 2 deep in the red. Huge mistake for him. Now, there are no spores. Oh, the DTs might just win the game. Maybe that was a good enough distraction. Spore starts on the third. Nothing in the natural of the main. These DTs coming in. The pylon's being spotted. Dark must know. He must know about it. Immediately, spores are going down. I think that might be quick enough. Yes, look at this. Oh, he goes for the hold position block. He's blocking the DTs from getting in there. The Adepts absolutely should be trying to go in at the same time, potentially just to cause some havoc. But look at that. He can't really get much done. Now, there's no lair, so he actually can't chase these DTs down. Oh my god. Okay, the DTs are stabbing the banelings, but then manual detonation catches two of them. Oh no, you should have spread those DTs out more, herO. Bit of a mistake for him, cost him. He's gonna go for some more DTs at home into Archons. He's got a Forge on the way. You know what's crazy is Dark actually built so many Zerglings. He's kind of all in, and Archon Adept plus battery ruins Ling Bane. The problem is he doesn't have vision. He doesn't know this is coming, and there's no battery in the natural either. Oh my god. He's well positioned there, but the Archon can't actually pull through the wall. If he doesn't get a battery right now, he's dead. I just think it's too much Ling Bane. I don't know if he can defend, man. The Archon on the third will be good, as long as the Adepts don't clump. Oh, herO gets spready. Oh, he kills all of those Banelings. The Archon in the wall. Oh, get back in the wall. Get back in the wall, herO. You're going to lose that Archon. Oh, that Archon should go down. Massive surround here for Dark. Melee's not quite done, though. Dark hitting seconds before his +1 melee is done. And the Archon, the Adepts absolutely slay. Yes, the Archon goes down, but that's okay. It's still an evenish trade. And with the Adepts now counterattacking, you're forced to hold down the Zergling key. The Roach Warren only now starting, as well as a lair for Dark. Dark is going to plan C, and it seems like herO navigating the chaos just fine. Dark was like, I'm going to hatch block you. And you know what? Dark is better than almost any player in the world at dealing with those messed up scenarios. herO, though, just laughs, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you thought you were going to out-chaos me by frigging up my early game? Are you serious? You thought that was going to do something? herO's just cackling to himself. He's like, seriously, man? Oh, you're so dumb. Now, Twitch chat's pointed out this is on the balance patch. So, yes, the Archon actually can squeeze through the wall there. I am a silly Billy, guys. It's still got the same collision with units, but yes, it can squeeze through that one space choke. Now, sorry, guys, my oversight on that. Still not used to casting actual tournaments on the balance patch, since this is the only tournaments, these weekly cups, and this is, of course, the first week of them doing it. So thank you very much. Keep reminding me of that stuff, guys. Any of the other changes I forgot to mention here as well. Now, we haven't seen Hydras. We're going Ling Roach. So once again, as I said, guys, I don't think Dark read the patch notes. It wouldn't be the first time a Korean pro player didn't read the patch notes. Dongregu! Walking Queens off creep and not realizing they couldn't transfuse anymore versus Classics Proxy Tempest Cheese, and then going, why isn't transfuse working? And then winning the game, the series anyway, even though he lost that game. Dark, definitely one of the players who looks a bit more freestyle when he plays these tournaments, for sure. He's a wild man. herO's getting that fourth in the bottom. Disruptors, Charge. I mean, Charge Archon Disruptor has kind of become almost like the hot composition in Korea, where basically Zealot Archon kind of smashes Ling Bane as long as your Zealots are spread out. And then Disruptors just smash any large numbers of Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras, and also even early Lurkers, of course, get dealt with if they don't have, like, you know, Vipers or something to abduct those Disruptors. Got the gases already going down to the fourth. Nidus Worm. Okay, guys, there's Desperate, and then there's what Dark's doing here. And you know what? This sort of strategy where you Nidus in the back, just max of Roach Ravager Ling, it used to work really well against herO's style, because if he doesn't have recall in the main, if he's chronos from that again, his Archons can't get through his wall to defend. So this used to be one of like the gimmickiest ways to beat a Protoss player who's very Archon focused in their composition. But it will not work anymore because the Archons can just walk up there. I mean, don't get me wrong though, 27 Roaches, 62 Zerglings, 5 Queens. He's going to go Muters behind it. So he's going 8 Gas Muters as his transition to follow it up. This is a good move because herO does not see it coming. herO is so defensive. And uh-oh, he does warp in some Zealots in the chokes, but 4 gateways depowered instantly. Oh, that's so bad. He's got more gateways up there and down here. But dude, battery overcharge gets taken down. Oh, Dark hits the fourth in the main. The Zealots and the choke point are doing pretty good. The Archons will defend, but not before so many probes go down. Of course, this is not hosted on Gameheart, guys, so we don't get those worker pop-ups because we are on the balance mod. Ooh, 3 Roaches go down to the Disruptor. Okay, looks like that bottom base is defended for now, but herO needs to stay there or he'll lose the fourth in the follow-up. More units popping out, and you know what? I think the Muters are at GG. I can't believe it, guys. I really thought herO was so far ahead, but the moment he took his foot off the pressure, off the pedal, off the aggression, Dark comes out with a very surprising move. I mean, I would never have predicted if I was in hero's shoes that there would be a Nidus attack coming this late into the game with nothing but roaches and zerglings. But it's those things that you think, oh, that's not good on paper, therefore it's not an option. I'm going to discount that as a possibility. Those are the things that catch you off guard, even when you are a guy who's very unpredictable like yourself in hero. Now, hero is not dead against the ground attack. It's the mutas that are the GG. Like, he can stabilize, and hang on, he's got Disruptor, Archon. It's a great army. He can rebuild a 4th. It's not like Dark's economy is that big. Dark has 20 mutas building that. And that's going to get it done. 20 mutas coming. I mean, come on, man. He's just keeping him busy. I do like seeing this, by the way. Every Protoss player out there is so happy to see Archons able to squeeze in and out of their wall. And there's more roaches, maulings, plus the muta's going towards the main base. The muta's going to run into mass Archon, funnily enough, because hero thought the Nidus was inside his main. But in fact, it was just down here. Zealot's trying to hold the choke point with the DTs, the Disruptors as well. Oh, great Disruptor shot there. And he will defend. Archon in the main gets picked off, though. Defending mutas with Archon Prism. We've seen stats do it before against 10 to 14 mutas, but against this many, I very much doubt it. Dark doing some hold position micro to keep them spread out there. And hero just taps out. Dark, you bloody slippery bugger. I got to go back and look at that and really go, could you have predicted that as hero? And did hero do the wrong things in the follow? I mean, if we... let's look at the units lost tab. Units lost tab was pretty similar. The Ling Bane attack seemed to objectively fail. But, yeah, I guess it got enough done. These Adepts were just being annoying. Did they end up getting surrounded? They did, didn't they? I don't think recall was available because he'd already spent it. No, he did actually have recall. So he recalled how many of those guys? Oh, a lot of them die. So he loses a lot of the Adepts there. And then he's just kind of chilling and adding Archons and Disruptors. And Dark's been so aggressive with his Ling Bane, you're kind of worried about it. He has an Observer. So he sees some drones on the 4th, a lot of Roach Ling building up. And he pulls back just before the Nidus goes down. And the thing is, Dark even made an Overseer going, ooh, I better make sure there's no Observer nearby. If that Observer stayed up there a bit longer, or if he had a hallucination, that would have been really good. But because he only has 1 Sentry and 1 Observer, no Oracles, no Phoenix, he's just very light on scouting. And that is one of the weaknesses of not having Oracles or anything like that out, or having an attack in the face of the opponent. If you're in his face, he's making Banelings, Ravages, you know, he's not really got room to go for a Nidus Worm. But in this case, it worked out really well. And that Nidus in the top plus the attack in the bottom, I can't believe he found this window to kill, but it was actually brilliant by Dark. Very well played in game 1. All right, well, I thought he handled the early game just fine, but his opponent is what many Protoss players would call a complete and utter shitbag. In the bottom left, of course, we have Dark, who's gone 12 pool. And seeing that hatchery not started, hero should know what he's up against. Let's see, he's going to go in. Yeah. Sees the eggs. Okay, what's the response? Surely you go 2 gate on this map. I know a lot of pros were doing the 1 gate response, but on this map, you can't really wall off with 1 gate inside the core, so... Second gate goes down. Now, interestingly, he goes second gate really early, and a Zealot, and a Cybercore. Okay, so I prioritize probing in this scenario. But he actually doesn't prioritize the second pylon at all. He's happy to let his probing stop because he wants to get the Nexus down so quickly. Interesting. Yeah, this is one of I obsess over that second pylon. And that's the correct call because he actually can't build his second Zealot, can he? Oh no, he stops at just 19 workers. He cancelled his probes. Oh, okay. Yeah, hero forgot his second pylon, surely. For a second, I thought I was about to learn something about a cool different response he had. Then I remembered that hero is a bit loose as a player. Hero and Dark are very weird with their responses. They're not the most... Oh, that Ling on the inside! Dark with a brilliant maneuver there. He actually gets a lot more damage done on the Zealot, but luckily for hero, his buddy does pop out in time. And the 2 Adepts are on the way, and then the Nexus will come out behind it. Yeah. I definitely prefer to get 1 or 2 more probes out a little bit earlier and then go for the Nexus. But hero here will get a pretty crisp Nexus time. And the question is, does he leave a Zealot at home? Or does he even send both Zealots? So there's an option to counterattack with 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts. And then you wall off if they come in with the Zerglings and wait for you. But it looks like he's going to play the very conservative version. Now, I don't think hero would do this versus a more conservative Zerg player. But against Dark, he's like, nah, Dark's crazy. Dark might have like 16 Zerglings waiting here for me to move out, so let's just leave the Zealots in the wall, go back to probing, 3rd pylon, 2nd gas. Behind it, Dark has started mining gas. Dark is down 3 workers, he's only on 2 hatcheries. It definitely feels like an advantaged situation for hero. But, you know, 3 queens coming out. It's not a massive game-ending advantage by any means. And because he kept his Zerglings alive from the early game, he only lost 2 of them. Dark can easily defend the Adepts. The Adepts are now going to move out to block the 3rd. This is a smart move. hero's like, well, if you're just sitting on 2 bases, all I need to do is keep it that way, and that gets me ahead. And that's awesome. Really smart move by herO. I like that he's adapting always with his pressure to the scenario he's in. And he says, hey, if you're just sitting on 2 base, you're probably making link speed and just droning up for a bit and then going to move out to take the 3rd, but I'm just going to block it. And Dark is saturating his natural very quickly. Look at his drone count. It looks amazing. You've got to realize that he's doing that, but without a 3rd hatchery, it's not amazing. It really is not great if you're not doing that. The Adept's trying to block. If you get the drone, that would be huge. Notice nice little dance from herO, but ends up backing off there. Fair call. Good move. So even though he saturated that, he can't saturate the 3rd for a long time. Now Dark can put drones back on gas, all this sort of stuff. He's actually building 2 more queens, so it looks like he wants to defend without spore crawlers, at least for the initial wave. Just get as many queens as possible. Meanwhile, 2nd Oracle's on the way, and herO is going to take the 3rd to the south. Oh, that's interesting. I always see people take the other 3rd, but he's decided, hey, I actually prefer this area. Build a battery here that can kind of heal units on the low ground, hang out in this area. Not a bad idea, actually. I kind of like it. Oracle comes in, doesn't find anything, rotates back, and then immediately scoops back around, trying to catch him off guard, and it does. It finds the opening. Very nicely done. Oh, 2 queens on the south side, though. So actually even better done by Dark there. Those 2 queens coming in as a bit of a surprise. That's the thing, right? He kind of almost lured herO in there. 2nd Oracle plus Stalker will clean up the Overlord. Ling's going to poke the wall. Zealot says, nah, mate, you're wearing the wrong shoes. The Zerglings, unfortunately, not allowed in the Protoss Club. Not sure most Zerg really would want to go there, but I think it's just a grass is always greener on the other side sort of situation. They hear about the Protoss Club. They hear there's a cool disco ball, lots of laser lights, and some crazy nightclub bouncers with lightsaber hands, but see how it goes. It's pretty defensive with the Oracles so far. Twilight, Robo, and 2 more gateways. herO's playing Charge, I think, in the follow-up. I think he's going to play Charge and Model. The reason I think that is there's no Forge, and I don't know, it just feels like it. I feel like he'd be going sentries otherwise. I don't know. Sometimes you recognize a pattern, you're not even sure what the pattern is. And this is one of those scenarios where I'm just like, nah, I don't know, man. It could be. Could be Blink, 4-gate Stalker, it's an option. Just feels like it's a bit late to go into that, but we'll see. Oracle gets a creep tumor snipe. Zergling still threatening at the 3rd. Neither side trading big right now. Dark has a 4th and melee on the way. And a DT shrine goes down for herO. This is a very late DT shrine. If you're a player who just plays very normal, logical StarCraft, this sort of DT shrine timing is very hard to kind of figure out and say, hey, why are we doing that? Well, Queen goes down, but an Oracle falls as well. Any Zerg is happy to trade a Queen for an Oracle. Look at that bait. Baits him in. Very nicely done. He loses a couple drones. Oh, the Spore uproots. Bit of a mistake there. Darky, dark. Duck Drone is the game that herO is playing there. And Dark ends up looking like a bit of a silly goose with the uproot on the Spore Crawler. Otherwise, it was a perfect defense. And overall, still pretty darn good for him. Charge is on the way right now. And just 4-gas charge. I feel like if you don't get a 4th Nexus up, Dark basically just makes Ravagers, Lings, and Banes. The problem for Dark is that his lair is one of the latest lairs I've literally ever seen in my entire life. He's got 70 drones, he's got 4 bases, he's taking 5 gas geysers at once. All of his gases are coming up, main, natural, 3rd, all at the same time. He's trying to build macro hatcheries. This is the classic Dark weak moment in the game, where if herO surprised him with an attack, he'd just crumble and die because he has no units. You give Dark till 8 minutes though, and he's going to have a big pack of Roaches, Ravagers, Banelings starting to morph, and he's going to suddenly be pretty much impregnable to a straight up attack. And yet herO seems to be just going for a charge Zealot all in. I don't think there's much chance this works. On the other hand, no Roach speed, not great, but the creep spread means I don't think it matters. I don't think there's enough numbers. I feel like you look at this as Dark, you're like, you don't have a 4th going down. All I need to do is build army, and he just built 2 more drones. And he's supply blocked! Dark supply blocked! He's building 5 Overlords, they're not here yet! He still might be able to do it. Those Overlords are popping. He's able to build more Roaches. Banelings are morphing, which means the Zealots can't do that much. Nice Guardian Shield. But that Archon up front's going to fall real quick. Archon already down. The Zealots are going to morph onto the Banes. Oh no, the Banes are going to get some pretty good hits. The Queens are going down though. If you can get rid of the Queens, the Oracles do a lot of damage. But, oh, I don't know if he can get rid of that queen. I think the queen barely wins that fight with the oracle. And it does. Both units die at the exact same time. The queen lets loose the last projectile. Now it's Zealot Archon versus Roach. The Roaches don't have Roach speed, but there's so many building at a time. And Dark Man, after a 12 pool that was reasonably cleanly blocked, just says, nah, it's fine. Blocks the oracle harass. Manages to get up a late third after some very slick droning in the early game. And you can see here, wow, the Zealots are getting good surface area. That Spore Crawler, though. Flanking Spore Crawler gets on the Prism. Prism takes some damage. It's got to reposition. Man, the lack of Roach speed is really hurting Dark here. But he's just got so many units popping out. The economy is still untouched. This base has been mining right next to the action this whole time. I think there's just too many Roaches coming out. The Archons, 17 kills and 14 kills apiece. Absolute Chad Gamer Archons. But with no fourth base, no Robo Bay behind it, herO does not have an ability to transition. He warps in 10 Zealots. He drops a Robo Bay and a second Robo. That there is the, crap. I wasn't planning to transition, but you know what would put me in an okay position? If I'm building Disruptors right now and I come with a big Zealot Archon Disruptor second wave, that would be pretty good. Unfortunately, he's starting it as plan C. herO needs to drop a fourth Nexus right now. He's floating money like no tomorrow. He's got Zealots, he's got Archons. He's going to make, okay, 20 Zealots, 2 Archons are going to go in. Dark is droning! Okay, I think he's got enough Roaches, it might not matter, but that's so unnecessarily risky right now. He's up against a 3-base Protoss and he's going at 80 drones. Archon Zealot, it is such a low tier all-in from the Protoss, and yet Dark being so greedy, and apparently he judges it pretty darn well because the Archons are getting gunned down, one of them saved by the Prism. herO starts Disruptor. He's going for a third Robo behind this as well. But he did not find anything. I would have liked to see herO split the Zealots up and do some running in and running out to delay the counterattack from Dark. As it is, Dark's going to have +2 melee, Bane speed. He'll be taking a 5th base in the near future, that sort of stuff. And herO starts a 4th here, but you can tell this was not the initial plan. He's also not got gases on his 3rd. So as he starts a Forge for upgrades to slowly catch up on those, as he pumps Disruptors 2 or 3 at a time as well. Where's this 3rd Robo? I think maybe he cancelled his 3rd Robo. He's going to run out of gas. And herO's not rectifying that, especially warping in DTs here to make Archons. Very expensive Archons coming in. 2 Zealots and an Archon dropping in the main, not really finding anything. herO coming back from here will require some of the biggest teabagging we've ever seen. Now, this is not, oh, teabagging's rude. Bah. Thankfully, you know, it's funny because people always talk about StarCraft being a soft game, but we're totally down with the teabagging. It is literally a mechanic in the game. It's called the Disruptor. And Zerg players especially know all about that one landing on their face. It's not a good feeling as a Zerg. herO's going to try and clear the creep to limit some vision a little bit. Don't get me wrong, guys. herO should be dead. We're just talking about how he could win the game. And like I said, it's going to have to involve the giantest balls of all time. Big Disruptors on the face is the only way. Disruptor through the grass is sometimes the scariest Disruptor. Oh, he lets him come in pretty close and doesn't get the biggest hits. A few Ravages and a Roach. I mean, obviously you could tell herO was going for the big one. He got a bit excited. He wanted the big surprise. He's almost maxed and there's no really good late game tech coming out for Dark. So that's pretty good argument. I mean, the natural's hard to breach as well. He doesn't have anything in the wall, of course, because it's herO. Disruptor gets caught out in the open. Zealots run back from the Banes. Archons clean those up. Good micro. Oh, I didn't notice on the bottom, though. Oh, his 4th is dead. He's so busy microing everything perfectly with his main army that his 4th gets ransacked, and Dark says, get wrecked, son. But Dark's got to be careful. He's very clumped here. And you can see the teabag is loaded up. herO, that Warp Prism is ready to drop Trow, turn around and turn those balls upside down. And that's going to be very scary for Dark, but he's got a giant army advantage. The Archons, the Disruptors coming in. There are no upgrades for the Protoss. They need these balls to land, and yet Dark with a big spready, avoiding most of them. Beautiful spreadies on all sides. The Archons trying to pull back, more Zealots trying to warp in. Banelings find the juicy center of those Zealots. Even cancels the warp in, realizing that's not going to work out. The Disruptors and the Archons forced to turn tail and run home, and Archon with 34 kills, even eventually gets overwhelmed despite having 2 full batteries exhaust themselves and a shield battery healing. Guys, there was a whole fight here where an Archon killed 34 Zerglings single-handedly. The battery overcharge ran out, both batteries ran out, and then the Archon still lost to the Zerglings. We'd normally call that a really bad engage for the Zerg, but Dark was dodging the Disruptors, which was more important. herO is so broke right now. Each one of these units better be the goddamn spirit of Arnold Schwarzenegger from Conan the Barbarian. Roaches, Ravages going down. Archon's getting smashed. There is far too much Zerg on the dance floor. And that's a big issue for the Protoss player. herO going to have to tap out. Dark taking a 2-1 lead after a huge turnaround in game 1, a dominating game 2 from start to finish. All right, guys, he's down, but he's not out. He's got to fight. He's got to win the next 3 games in a row. It's Dragon Phoenix's herO up against Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark, harassing with a probe early on. He forced Dark to take that front third base. Now, if there was ever a time for Dark to just randomly shove like Ravagerling Queen or something across the map, it's probably this map. And I know I've seen some of the Chinese players doing some Queen walks on this map. I think I saw Dark do one. Dark did one to me. Dark did one to me last week. So yes, he 100% did walk Queens on this map. He did a mass Queen Zergling walk, didn't he? Or something like that. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was on this map. Actually, maybe he just rolled me with Ling Bane, but I feel like Queens walked across at some point in the game, and I think they did on at least one of them. It was yeah, I'm getting all my games confused in my head, but I'm pretty sure he did. Anyways, it's in the American Weekly Cup, of course, and I just think if you've already taken the front base, you get your creep to maybe like there. It's really not that far to get beyond. Stargate going up in the main base. Chronoing Adepts here for herO. Not a bad way to play. Pretty solid. Zergling's going to come down. herO's going to hang just for a little bit. Says, hey, where are you, Zerglings? And the other 2 are just hanging at the third, actually. So, interesting. Normally you pull all 4 Lings, because otherwise he can pylon block you. Dark maybe made a bit of a doo-doo here. You got to go after that pylon, bud. Oh, look at this. herO's going to double back for it. You know what? He might even just abandon blocking the base and just use the Queen's being lured out. The Queen's being lured out. Adept comes in. Dark messing up his opening a little bit there. This is why you always send 4 Lings to clear up that third base location straight away, because now he loses a drone and mining time and his third base gets delayed. Not to mention that probe. I'd love to see him just like throw a pylon down in the back of the natural. Just throw one there and then warp some Adepts in. You know, Chrono Warp Gate, go 3-gate Adept. Be kind of sick, but good moves here. I don't think the probe gets out unless he recalls it. New Adept comes in. Oh, good Spore Trick though. And with Queens there, you can see Adepts are a very fragile unit. Adepts used to be a fair bit tankier, but those days are long gone. And is he going to go for it? No, he does just chill for now. Second gateway goes down. Nice, lovely, thick choke point there. I've made fun of a lot of herO's walls in the past. This, I cannot make fun of. That is a beautiful wall off. Very easy to wall off behind it if he gets in trouble. Nice, thick, 2-space opening. These Adepts do shade out to the left. Looks like the probe went down. Finally, the probe went down. Nice revelation. Gets rid of 1 active tumor. Adepts shading in. He could definitely let the shade finish. It's only 4 Lings. Could have fought those. You don't know how many more are just out of sight. Spore Crawler goes up in the main base with that Queen. And there's a second Queen there. These 2 Queens here. So now this is the point where Dark wants to start transferring drones to the third base, and he wants to kind of move his Queens down there to ferry that in. He does have a Spore Crawler here with a little yellow dot in the middle. I didn't even realize I don't know, that's Simulant or Leviathan skin. I think this is Simulant skin. Spore Crawler looks bloody cool, actually. I don't know why I never looked at that. Got like a bloody yellow bit in the middle. It's like a little photon cannon. Queen's starting to shoot at these oracles. Oh, herO not enjoying that. These drones going to quickly run away. Good moves by Dark, man. herO just has to back off. But he's in the back of the base, and that gives you a lot of surface area. You can go right around the left, right around the right. The Queens can't really stop you from escaping there. And Oracle comes in, doesn't dive. The Sporey says, if I go for a drone or 2, I'll end up deep in the orange. I'd rather go back and defend me third base. Adept's going to pick off a couple of Zerglings. Quite a lot of Adepts here, so this is kind of cool. He's going to do the 6 Adept pressure, guys. And he's going to leave 1 Oracle at home, so he's going to go 6 Adepts plus a few Oracles. This is not with Glaive Adepts. These are just basic bitch Adepts, but it's enough to pull all the Queens to the front to defend, which means the Oracles can party. Those 2 Queens there, 2 Queens there. Oh, he actually ends up only just pulling 3 Queens to the front, but he has 7 in total. Oh, man. But then the Adepts, they don't shade past. The Oracle's not able to take advantage. Dark's done a great job of handling this. He's got a melee upgrade on the way. No Rotron. He's playing so greedy. I mean, the thing is, he hasn't been scouting what herO's doing. 100%. Looking at this game, you feel like herO should have been going for like a just 8-gate Glaive Adept all in. Would be a free win, right? There's no baneliness, no Roachhorn. Dark is playing the greediest game of all time. He's trying to just take a 4th, play nothing but 7 Queens and Zerglings. And this is the thing. Dark, much like Reyna, are these players who you think of as being so solid because they are hard to put in the ground, but they won't play safe. They won't play paranoid. They just play like a bit greedier than they really should. And they still get away with it unless you're super committed to an all-in attack. Now, herO is going charge. He's going +1. He's going for Templar Archives. +1 Zealots and Archons. Wreck upgraded Zerglings. He doesn't have any more than 2 gateways, though. So I'd like to see his gateways coming up here. He needs a lot more gateways. He's warping in Zealots off 2 gates right now, which is peculiar. Definitely, to say the least. He's going to come around. Oh, he's going to try and kill the 4th. Oh, okay. Dark hasn't seen it, guys. We're on Dark's vision. Go to Dark's camera. Dark's droning. He's building a few more lings. Oh, look at me. I've got complete control. He sees it. He sees it with the watchtower. Okay, so Dark is aware of it. Let's go back to everyone's camera. Oracle's coming back to the front side. The lings are going to come down. We've got all the queens getting pulled. He does not want to lose that 4th hatchery. That 4th hatchery will give him a massive lead if he can get that up untouched. herO is going Robo Bay and up to 6 gateways behind it. So he's going to start gateway exploding. He's got pretty nice wall-offs. Problem with this wall-off is, of course, if banelings get through, you got nowhere to run with those probes, but you are banking on them never getting through. Good clearing of the creep. At least that's pretty nice. The oracles have so much energy. The lings can never come off creep. Hydroden, 2nd Evo chamber on the way. Place to kind of wall off his bases from the zealots a little bit as well. And there we go. So he's going to be going up. Will be 8 gateways in the near future. 2nd Robo. So it's going to be Disruptor, Zealot, Archon. It's a pretty solid style. But it's really fascinating because if they avoid the Disruptor shots and they get like Ling Bane run-bys in your mineral lines and then get enough Roach Ravager out or Hydras or Lurkers, things get awkward. I've seen the fight go drastically good for the Zerg where they just avoid all the Disruptor shots. Seems like the Banelings hit the Zealots, the Zerglings surround. And there's other games where the Disruptors just kill everything. The Archons are obliterating the Ling Bane. The Zealots are running all over the place. I think the best way to do it is if you can get like a Zealot drop or something just to stress the Zerg's mechanics. Because I think the Protoss army kind of needs to pre-spread and set up. But if the Zerg can just focus all of his energy on microing against it, he can usually take the correct battle. Nice cancel on the 5th base. Oracle's going to dive the main base. Queens say no. Still with a macro hatch up on 5 hatcheries is Dark. 82 drones. He's building 15 Hydras. Groove Spines is almost finished. So he's going to have a big Hydra Bane army. And Hydras also can kill Disruptors pretty quickly. So you got to be careful with Hydra Ling. The damage output's pretty high. You got to throw those Disruptor shots early. Warping in single high Templar. A little sloppy here. Observer comes forward. He's going to start clearing up the creep. Oh, how many Banelings we got? Only 9 Banelings, and there's a lot of Zealots here. Disruptors! Oh, okay, the Banelings go and roll into the Adepts, or the Zerglings do, and the Adepts and the Archons hold on pretty well. Oh, that Archon might get surrounded. And yeah, the Hydras get it. Oh, they do, yep. I would have liked to see him use those Northern Archons to keep defending while pulling the Southern Archon, the one at the bottom, down. 4th base is up though now for herO. herO's got a good army on the front. He's adding stasis traps, which makes this even harder. He's turning this whole middle of the map into his area of control. And I feel like if Dark could get to Hive for some Vipers, that would be huge. But as it is, he's got to find a way to put some pressure on herO. But herO's got a pretty good defensive setup. No cannons on that base. Hydra's coming over. Oracles with some great revelations. He sees where the army's at. The army still feels a little soft for herO in terms of, like, there's only 3 Archons in here and 5 Disruptors. The Zealots can't engage into Banelings. herO's got to be careful with this army. He's out in the open right now. He's relying on the vision to see when Dark runs forward so he can throw the Disruptor shots early enough and the stasis traps. He's got the Zealots, which he's going to try and do a more of a backstab with. herO's going for a mass Baneling drop. He's queued 3 Baneling drops into 3 different bases right now. Dark, the Savage, going for a crazy move. Disruptors! Oh, 1 or 2 of them get jumped on. They do land some balls on Dark's face. The stasis traps need to be his saving grace. He's got 1 more to fall back on the Zealots running in. That's going to force Dark back, and that saves the Disruptors and the Archons. herO's trying to get Colossus out right now. He says, hey, there's too many Zerglings here. If I get some Colossus, they're going to be so good versus the Lings and the Hydras. The Zealots trying to avoid getting hit by the Banelings, and they're actually fighting in the choke points very nicely. Disruptors! Good hits on the Queens and the Banelings, but herO's got to be careful. It's such a small army, and I think he's ventured too far forward. If he loses this army, that's real bad. Great spready from Dark. And man, Dark spreadies are so lovely. Another Archon falls, though. Zealots are coming in. There's no Banelings left, or a few Banelings are in the back somewhere, but they aren't on the front line. The Queens come forward. Zealots going to catch those bad boys for free. Very nice pick off Oh, the baneling drops. Sorry, guys, I wasn't looking at it. Baneling drops, baneling drops, baneling drops. Oh, no. hero's taking massive damage. One more baneling drop about to hit here. He's cleared so many probes out. Oh, my God. Remember, Hydras attack a little bit faster in this patch and are actually, they're way quicker movement speed as well. So these Hydras are lightning fast on creep. Zealot, Archon, Colossus, Disruptor trying to do what they can. The banelings do get caught up by the stasis trap right now. Units lost time is looking rather vicious for both sides. But the economy sucks for herO. He's got to get more damage done. Dark looking for the 3-0. This ball of Archon Colossus trying to do what it can. The Disruptors have emptied their loads, and they need a minute. They say, honey, please just give me a second. Let me recharge. Dark, he doesn't really have much choice about it. He's got to just hang on with Hydras and Lings. And, man, in this scenario, I almost feel like just Ravagers would be a little better, but it's so awkward for him. The Zealots and the ability to quickly rebuild those Zealots is massive. Dark has a massive income advantage, though, so he's just got to find a way. The drone's rallying through the fight, though. Oh, no, he can't get the 5th base up. That is a problem. So he's not got the 5th base income advantage, and controlling this space out here has been so massive for herO. 2 Colossus, 3 Archons, and 3 Disruptors. This army is a thorn in Dark's side. Dark needs to find a way to pull this out. He needs to find a way to do something about this. He runs right past the Archon and Disruptor in the middle of the map. This base is getting jumped on. He's got to surround this. He cannot attack this from one side. Dark cannot attack this from one side. He's got Lings in the base. They're going to do some good damage. Battery overcharge. Zealot will eventually deal with it. The Hydra's coming in from one angle. This base has already gone down. Get out of there, mate. Balls will go flying if you don't watch yourself. Zealots clean up the Zerglings on that base. The 4th is down. The 5th will go down soon as well. herO pushing in, marauding around, and he says, I might have 31 probes, but you're back on 3 base. You're not using that much more than 31 probes yourself. The income is incredibly close right now. Colossus coming in. Hydra's engaging the Colossus. The Colossus do not have the range upgrade, for those who don't know. They've only got 7 range. These Lings could do some big damage. +2 melee is done. 3 Vipers are on the way. Dark finally getting to that Hive. We were talking about Hive a while ago and how that's amazing tech, because abducting Archons, abducting Disruptors is huge. The Disruptors especially, because if you can abduct the Disruptors, you can kind of come in with a giant overwhelming surround and just gun down everything so quickly. Some Banes roll in. Looks like a few more probes went down. 56 probes have died in this game to just 10 drones. But a big ball of Hydras. I mean, they want to be in a ball versus the Zealot Archon. They do not want to be in a ball versus the Disruptor Colossus. Zealots let loose in the mineral line. Vipers have popped, but they don't have energy. Oh, Hydras get whammied. Lings in the 3rd base, Lings in the natural. Dark is going ham. It might be his best bet to go for a base trade. He should probably go for a base trade here. I don't think he should fight this army. He gets 1 Disruptor, but my God, the number of balls. herO is a virile young man. He will not run out of juice anytime soon. He just keeps on going. Zealots cleaning up those Zerglings. Zerglings, if they were joined by Hydras and more, it could be a base trade, and Dark might have been able to win it. And I think Dark at this point is realizing, oh God, if I'd gone around and just kept focusing on Ling Hydra mobility, maybe I could have actually won a base trade. And that would have been the way to do it, because there's so little static. There's only 2 cannons and a battery left. Almost no probes mining. Dark has Vipers and 20 Hydras. He could still win. If he can like grab a Colossus or a Disruptor, kill it, run away, that'd be good. But you want to flank. You want to catch herO when he's a bit split. If you come over to the right side, grab the Colossus, kill them, run away. That's the way he's got to do it, because he doesn't have the numbers to really stand and fight. The Archon Zealot will get on top of these Hydras way too quickly, and that's not that many Hydras. He forces a recall. That means there's units left in the open. Get him, herO. Get him, Dark. Get him. Dark! Oh, Dark lets him escape. And not only escape, but catch his Hydras on the way home. Oh, Dark with a bit of a mistake there. And now it's 13 Hydras and 3 Vipers, but that's not going to work. He's going to use Parasitic Bomb. Oh, that's depressing. That's not going to do anything. He's going to tickle these units. Now, Oh, you can actually break Parasitic Bomb off a Colossus by picking it up. I just learned something new. Did you guys know you could do that? Let me know in the comments. I didn't know you could do that. By picking it up and dropping it, it left the Parasitic Bomb behind. The bees don't fit inside the warp prism. So basically, there's bees all swarming over you. The Colossus says, beam me up, Scotty. And it does, and the bees get left behind. They only track onto his biosignature. He's going to try and stop using Parasitic Bombs. That's so lame, man. It's doing nothing. I get why he's doing it, because it's like consistent, reliable damage, but it's just kind of sad, man. Lings are trying to beat the Zealots, but the Zealots are too good. +2 attack looking good. I think herO's got this in the bag. Another Parasitic Bomb goes down. Remember, the Prism can break it. Come on, show us that cool Prism trick, herO. He did it once and then forgot about it. I don't even know if he realized it worked. The Prism's going to go across the map to do, I don't know, to warp in a single Zealot somewhere. These Hydras going down, and these Protoss units are too strong at this point. The Colossus have been hit by like 17 Parasitic Bombs. They're slightly damaged. and they start regenerating their shields. They have 91 kills between them, 61 kills on one, 30 on the other. That's a 60 kill Archon, a 0 kill Disruptor. I feel like the Disruptors have been dodged too much. You don't really get big Disruptor kills against Dark, do you? You get 1 kill, 4 kills, and 0 kills. 17 kill Archon, 60 kill Archon, and what do we got? 41 kill Archon, 17 kill Archon. The Zealot only has a single kill, but that still is an elite team of Chad Protoss. A Dropalord from earlier in the game now used to get Hydras in the base. Dark's still parasitic bombing the Colossus. He's like, you shall die, fool. Another parasitic bomb, this time on the Warp Prism to stop it from picking it up and breaking the parasitic bomb. But he's going to run out of buildings. He's sucking energy off his own buildings, and the problem with sucking yourself off, as Marilyn Manson will tell you, is that it does limit the total number of buildings you have in this base trade. You could lose those, and that could be an issue. I like this drop play. The Archon's only got tiny hands. Not only struggles with self-pleasure, but also struggles with the reach around across that pylon gap. Nice micro, but these Archons cleaning up those Hydras. And the Colossus Archon Disruptors are going to try and clean up these last buildings. Dark has a bit of money to hide Extractors. The Archon, this Archon, oh, that Archon finished him off. Oh, he gets the drop. Okay, I don't think Dark has anything left. He has 2 Hydras, 2 Overlords, 3 Vipers, and, double parasitic bomb again! The bees! Ah, the bees! Ah, finally that Nicolas Cage Colossus goes down. It only took 13 parasitic bombs. It finally falls. 2 Hydras, a Zergling. Oh, he's like, yeah, got your War Prism, buddy. How do you like them apples? herO is just like, I don't even, what? I don't, how do you like those balls? Dark's like, yeah, okay. Taps one out. GG, well played. herO gets a point on the board. All right. We are into game number 4. herO, he fought back in that game. I like the way, I was like, man, hit a timing, go, but he just cleared up the creep and really set up well with the Stasis Trap, Disruptor, Archon spready. I like the big Zealot backstabs as well. Really nicely done by herO in the top left. I find that's a very fragile army to use if the Zerg is a true expert like Dark is. Now, it looks like he came to block the hatchery, but Dark doubled back around and came back and actually got this hatchery down started 30 seconds ago at 123, which means that's 153. So that's only like 5 seconds late for a 16 hatch. This is actually one of Dark's better openings then. So very nicely done by him. And herO may be regretting the fact that he did go for the scout on Cosmic. Guys, do you see what I see right here? That's an opening, but I also feel like that's an opening. I'm not imagining this, right? Twitch chat. Am I imagining things? I'm pretty sure that's an opening. Did herO leave a 2 space gap? He can always build another building there, so it might be okay if he does realize and walls that off. But dude, if he just dies to a Ling run by, I'll be so sad. Ling speed starts up. Dark, of course, just getting 2 queens, getting a couple of Zerglings. Only 2 Zerglings for now. Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely an opening, right? That's any, yeah. And I mean, these are going to be Dark Zerglings. Dark's Zerglings, for them, any hole's a goal. Only 2 Zerglings, which means you could definitely block the 3rd base on this side. Usually the Zerg doesn't want to take that 3rd, though. I guess he could go for either. Does herO opt for it? Will he bother? No, he hasn't chronoed the Adept. Now, hero's wall-offs are a famous thing. Obviously, his wall-off in that last game was spectacular. But of course, herO usually does open up with a fantastic wall, only to do a terrible wall in the next game. That would be the most herO thing ever. Cancels his Adept Shade, so he's keeping the Adept Shade back. He's going to go Resonating Glaives, potentially. Or maybe a DT drop. But it is either way a quick Twilight Council. Oh, okay, goes for the Glaives. You know what's funny? He pulled a probe to the left like he was going to make a Dark Shrine, but then he starts Glaives. This tells me that herO literally, in that second, decided which one he was going to do. I just admire it, you know, because like I laugh because it's crazy to make up a decision that late in the game and not make it earlier. Like, what the hell, dude? There's no information from the opponent deciding that. It feels like it's being slow to decide what your game plan is. But if you have the ability to make that late decision, stick with it, still execute well, flow with it, even if your build isn't super kind of optimized, it's a magic skill. Only the very best of the best can do it. It's something that I laugh at, I make fun of, but I also am incredibly envious of. 4 queens, 34 drones, 3rd hatcheries on the way. So it seems like Dark has a pretty good idea of what's going on. You know, he's got the Roach Horn. And oh, it is going to be a DT Shrine. So it's Glaive Adepts, 4 Gate Glaives into DTs. Quite the committed build here. And it's not a good map for it because it's a big map. This is a map which is much better for Stargate. And he hasn't really tricked his opponent at all. He hasn't really played any mind games. He did seal the wall, by the way, so hats off to herO for that one. Overlord's going to sneak in. Now, remember, Overlord has pretty long sight range, so it's only when it gets about here. There we go. Now we see it. Stalker, where is it? Down in the natural, which means that Overlord can easy pass by into the back of the base. He sees that DT Shrine for free. That's a huge mistake. herO finally sends a Stalker to fix that, but damn, man. Don't want to give this info away. And it's already 4 minutes 30 and he hasn't moved out with his Adepts. Yeah, this is not an optimized build order, guys. herO is hitting with such a late Adept timing that Dark's going to start wondering what the hell is going on. He's building Spore Crawlers. Yeah, his already had his Spidey senses tingling because if you hit this late with your Adepts, you're meant to hit at 4:35 with 8 Adepts. He's going to hit at about 5 minutes with 8 Adepts, which, oh, there's no third base. 100%. He's either going DT Shrine or he's going for 2 Stargate Phoenix behind it, which either way, the Adepts definitely should have hit faster if it was the 2 Stargate Phoenix, because that 2 Stargate Phoenix would come down later. DT's going towards the 3rd. There is a Spore Crawler there. Adept's moving down the left side as well. Oh my god. Dark is making 50 plus Zerglings. Queen's out front. That Prism's gonna have to pull back. Oh no, herO, get out, get out. Oh, one of the DTs gets surrounded. Great catch there for Dark. The Adept's going home. Still no third base started. herO is ahead on workers. This is one thing, as Dark and Solar both like to kind of overbuild units to shut these pressures down. They don't want to give herO an opportunity to do some fancy micro in and around their base. No Spore in the main? No Spore in the main! He literally was just banking on herO running away and morphing Archons. herO assumes there's a Spore in the main. I cannot believe the corners that Dark just can't. Dark didn't build a Spore in his natural or his main. He only built it in his 3rd, and now he's building one in the main only then. And he gets away with it. Oh my god! It's literally because he's relying on his opponent respecting him. And he gets away. Galaxy Brain. Galaxy Brain is all we can say. Honestly, no one else would think to do that. Massling Ravager comes in, cancels the 3rd. Dark is so goddamn smart because he realizes as long as I'm up front with my queens, you're not going to risk running past with your Prism and DTs and getting them surrounded. DTs do catch a Ravager. That was pretty slick. Trying to bile the DTs in the Prism. He could still drop these boys and block one of those, but the queens are there now. And that 3rd cancel was massive. Blinkers on the way. He's got a Forge, got a Robo Bay, but losing that 3rd is massive. And now Dark can think about a 4th base. He's droning up. The thing is, you might look and say, well, Dark doesn't really have an economy advantage in the workers, but no, he's got a 3rd base mining, so he's got significantly more minerals. And as he drones up now, he's going to jump ahead while that 3rd is slowly rebuilding, laboriously, little by little, getting its hit points back up. Luckily, he left his units at home. If he lost that again, that would have been an absolute disaster. DTs are still dancing around looking for some damage. But Overseer's here now. Time to get out. Gets a few hits on a queen. Not what he's looking for in a Spire on the way. Oh, Dark is looking for the just survive. Roach Ravager Zergling. Go for the big Muta swap behind it. Shut down the Archon Prism. Maybe just sneak into a Mineral Line and do that one. Ravagers and Queens coming forward. He's trying to get hits on that Prism. Prism's pretty low, so he's got to get back and regen some shields. 3rd base is there. A few sentries coming forward. herO realizes he's got to exert some pressure. He can't just let Dark do whatever he wants to do. I just don't know, because he doesn't know where the Lings are. So you can see he splits his army up. Oh no! herO! Oh no! Are those force fields good enough? He needs a force field above. Force field above. Oh, he saves the sentries. Oh, very slick moves. Very nice. He's only lost 1 DT3. That's 35 Zerglings. Stalker's warping in there. Should be able to defend that. As long as you don't let them surround the shield battery, it's going to be hard for him to do what he wants to do. Disruptor's here. He'd like to just get some value balls on Dark's face. Oh! Zerglings. They surround the Disruptor. It does a nice shot. herO's getting value. Just out of this movement, he's getting value. Dark has a 4th going up on the left side. He's on 69 workers. That is the magic number. And herO well past 42. Not going to be able to harness the power of memes in this game. He's going to have to transfer workers out of that main, maybe to the 4th base. Queens are going to try and handle the Hallucinated Phoenix, see what they can do. But it looks like it'll see pretty much everything except the Spire, which is what it needed to see. Sees the 4th isn't finished. You need to see that Spire, and you need to see it now. Right now, he has 13 Stalkers. They're coming across the map, and Disruptor's coming forward. So he actually catches a Baneling run by, which is kind of fantastic. He's going to be able to push forward. The Mutas, though, may just fly across and go in the mineral line. I think that's the best move for Dark. Defend with the Roach Ravager Ling, keep building Lings and Ravagers, and then try to get it with the Mutas. Oh, okay, Disruptor Shot only gets 2 Roaches. Second one goes out, gets a few more Roaches and Ravagers. Another Disruptor Shot comes forward, but he's already lost one of his Disruptors. Great Disruptor Shot so far. Those Ravagers are going to go down. Problem is right there. He needs to warp in Stalkers back at home, but he's about to warp in Stalkers on the front. If he warps in Stalkers here... Oh, no, he warps into Depths, even worse. He wanted some anti-Zergling firepower. The Mutas fly into an undefended main, and herO realizes his folly. This attack was looking good, even though he was on 3 base versus 4. But now the Muta's flying. It's not a crazy Muta count, but he needs a big Stalker warp in to deal with it, and he might overcommit to the attack, feeling like he has to do something to Dark. Stalker's going to warp in. Cannon Battery on the 3rd will help. Meanwhile, Army on the front. It's all about this Army on the front. If he can kill the 4th, that'll be big. Disruptor Shot could be big here. herO trying to micro at home. Oh, he gets only 1 Ravager. Great spreadies. And look at this. The Adepts aren't doing that much damage. The Stalkers are starting to go down. These Disruptors need to come off cooldown, but they're still seconds away from recharging. And oh man, the Mutas were back in the main as well at the same time, guys. They were dancing around. He lost so much mining time in his main base. herO has the tap. Dark gets the W. And I got to go back and appreciate, this is one of the most disgustingly awesome moves I have ever seen. Is a player who knows it's Dark Templar. This is Dark, guys. This is just from Dark Templar. He sees the DTs, he gets around, he goes, okay, cool, that's good. Any other player jumps home, makes a lair, makes a spore right now. Dark, watch what he does instead. He's like, nah, you're just gonna morph an Archon, it's fine. He sees the prism rotating to his main, he's watching it, he says, you know what? I'll make a lair, not gonna make spores. I'll make an Evo, 11 drones. I'll send my whole army back up here to defend. He's sending Ravagers across the map, Lings and Queens home. Finally starts the spore, only as it flies in the main. Lings come back, Queens and Lings push it back, and he goes, cool, Ravagers are already on the side, let's go join them up and kill your 3rd base. So he's hiding the Ravagers. He says, okay, you've pulled back. And he goes across, not in vision. He goes across, I don't think the Prism saw him, so he hides it. And he says, that's cool, guess what? I'm still droning, I got nothing but Queens at home, but you think my Lings are here. And then, haha, they're at the front, and I've got me Ravagers, and I'm just going to kill that Nexus. Not even go for your army. Just get the Nexus, get the guaranteed kill, run in, run away. And he doesn't overstay at all. I mean, that was just disgusting. He had no detection in the main or the natural. He only builds it now, later. He's so dirty, man. He was already in a good spot, but it's the way he cuts those corners when ahead to get further ahead that leads to brutal one-sided results like he gets in this game. Really clever, really smart play, good understanding of vision, and the fact that his opponent wouldn't know that he didn't have the spores and would assume he did have them. Really just clever gambling, but it's exactly the right sort of gambling to be very frustrating as an opponent. Dark wins 3-1, and especially that game 1 was particularly impressive. GG, well played, you absolute Chad Gamer Dark. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the game, click on one of these other ones on the screen, and thank you so much. Happy holidays. See you next time. Goodbye and good night.